Nora, no, not yet.
Not yet?
No, not yet. So we're going to talk about you first. Nora, she already did 45 minutes.
Okay.
So she can come at the end just to give her blessing to you being here, kind of thing. Okay, so we're going to do the interview a little bit in English for those who did not understand all we talked about in French. So now is your chance to put the piece together of the French words you heard and see if you really understood. So Simone is an actress, I would say.
Yes, I am.
Okay, and I discovered her through Nora, who presented Madame Gouffet 2 weeks ago here on Channel 29. And I say, well, how about if we interview also someone who speaks fluent French? So I'm happy that you accepted the invitation.
Thank you very much.
And I appreciate you taking the time to be here. I know you have a lot of activities this afternoon. One of them is a play, right?
I'm going to see it. I'm not going to be part of it.
Okay. Is it something you like, the topic?
Yeah. So it's going to be King Lear.
Yeah.
It's a collaboration of Inferno Theater and Actors Ensemble.
Okay.
And I did Madame Gouffet with Actors Ensemble, and I'm part of Inferno Theater.
Okay.
One of the fun.
Okay. So King Lear is a British play.
Yeah, it's Shakespeare, and
so it's a classic.
It's a classic, but it's with Giulio, who's the director.
As opposed to the play you did, which was contemporary.
Exactly. But the thing also, well, we just did a contemporary play with Inferno Theater at the San Francisco International Art Festival in
really?
Fort Mason.
Oh, nice.
It was called Quantum Love.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was a very interesting play.
So how do you separate reality from play, from a fiction? I mean,
Well, what do you mean in my daily life? Or
I mean, when you dream of your play because you're learning the lines, and then you dream of it. You come up with some things that are gonna happen the next day, and then reality is totally different.
It depends.
Do you act in reality?
No.
Are you sincere with everybody, or sometimes you act?
I'm a terrible liar.
Okay.
And I was raised to be a proper little girl.
Oh.
So I don't.
So you don't lie.
I don't lie. Sometimes I don't say the entire truth.
Okay.
I don't
speech by nature.
Kind of. It's like as the way I was raised is that you have to
say what you think.
What you think, and at the same time
and not be afraid.
Which I am often, but I have to.
In America, you have to be afraid, or else you're fired, right?
It's marvelous.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
there is no free speech in the workplace in America. You have to agree with everybody.
I worked in different places where I was not really in those
where you had to restrict yourself?
Well, I was, but the thing is, early on I understood that there's this double thing, which, especially in California, when people say, oh, it's wonderful, but
you better watch what you say.
But listen to the but, because that's what you need to listen to, not the wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful is just polite.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then I got that part.
Yeah.
But regarding reality, I think I mix up reality and
when do you feel that you do have free speech in America? Except on my show, of course. But when do you feel really comfortable to say what you think?
So that is interesting because, well, when I talk with people, like one-on-one,
you don't always say what you think.
Well, it depends on the
Depends on the
situation.
person.
I don't want to shock everybody, or I don't want to
Okay.
be rejected or whatever.
But you have to be tactful.
Something happened is that I've been, I had a Facebook page for years and years, and I didn't care about that.
Oh, really?
And then something happened in France with the attack
The
of
Charlie,
Charlie.
and all of a sudden everybody started speaking.
And then when I got the information, suddenly it hit me. And so I spent the entire day posting things back
About
and
free
forth.
speech.
And then I went to and that's when I found out.
You came to City Hall?
Yes.
I taped City Hall.
I went, before City Hall, I went to the embassy, the consulate.
You did the consulate
With my
demonstration.
Yeah, and then the thing is that I remember I was typing, I need to do something about that.
Okay.
I need to do something publicly.
Oh.
And then the next thing I see somebody say, well, there is
something happened.
something happening. And then
That was after Madame Buffet or before Madame Buffet?
After.
After. What a coincidence.
And then I was like, oh my God. And since then, I've been on Facebook.
Oh.
And since then,
You do communicate.
I do communicate, and at the same time, I have this very strange feeling because I know Facebook is completely artificial and has this.
Do you accept everybody as your friend?
No.
Oh, because I accept almost 90%.
I accept people I know,
Or people who have common friends.
or people that I wanted to know, or I.
But you don't click accept.
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
Because-
and then sometimes I was like, do I want this person to be my friend and know all what I'm doing?
and I don't know anything about them.
Well, and also like in the workplace and
Yeah.
then that, but I know one of my boss, she's constantly.
No, you don't.
Well, she is. So.
She is. Do you know if you remove someone from your Facebook, they don't know about it? They don't get the notification that they have been removed.
But I don't care. I mean, I'm comfortable with that. But it's just with some
No,
people.
just to let you know,
I
you don't have to
wonder.
be afraid to remove someone. They will never know you did.
But Facebook can be also a lot. It can be draining you because
Oh, yeah.
it can be
It used to be.
time-consuming.
It used to be like once a week you go on it, and all of a sudden you get hooked.
Exactly, and I was never going on it. And
So-
then since you're Charlie, I
You
went
go.
like
Yeah.
completely sucked up.
It's over 1 billion people on Facebook now, so it's huge.
It's huge. But I really got connected with things, and that's why I'm being careful what I want. I mean, which
Because it used to be 5,000 friends maximum, but since there's so many more on Facebook, they should increase it to 10,000. I mean,
I don't think I have 5,000. I don't think I can handle
well,
it.
I reached last year 5,000, and now I cannot add any more because of the restriction. But you can open multiple.
On Facebook, yeah, I know people
Yeah.
do that. But
So some people have multiple.
like they have different names for everything.
Different names if they want to start a new Facebook. But anyway, that's another story.
But I know with Facebook I have this very ambivalent relationship because it's so practical
To say something.
to find out things and to communicate things, and at the same time like anybody can see what's going on, but then I'm giving
Watching.
so much data to all
Everybody.
everybody.
And you don't know who. They remove you if they don't like what you say. Don't worry.
Oh, I know people that happened to.
Yeah. They remove you if they don't
Or
like
they
what you
remove
say.
the post that is too shocking or whatever.
Yeah, but they cannot remove what you on your Facebook. They can remove it from their Facebook.
But I mean that's where I feel I have some freedom of speech, which is very
This is good.
ironical.
Yeah. I agree.
It's so weird. because-
Facebook made possible freedom of speech in some ways.
Yeah, but and then
Although if it's
sometimes-
offensive or sexual, they won't let you post it. I mean, you cannot insult with gross words.
well, actually, I had this thoughts about. I got this post from a cousin of mine who said a lot of political things that I think are very interesting, and I was like, I don't know if I should
Post it or not.
post it because
You never know.
It's very graphic.
Oh,
I wanted to do it, but then I thought
think twice.
because
Also, there's a lot of social media like Facebook. They won't let you post anything offensive about a very important public figure like the president or anything. They do have some restriction right there.
But not Donald
That,
Trump.
that comes from the commander-in-chief, because then that would denigrate the United States. So you gotta be very careful there. But as long as you talk about your dog or your friend, or
Well, no, I do a lot of. I mean, I post a lot of things on my environment and.
yeah, if you talk about the environment is not going to protest, right? So as long as you
Well,
post...
some people too. I mean, I'm not like super political, but I mean...
No, I mean, there are a few rules you have to respect on Facebook. If I find something offensive, I just hide it or remove the friend. And that's it. And they don't even know I did. That's what's good about it.
But yeah, freedom of speech. And yeah, but...
But when you're in a cafe, do you find there is a lot of freedom of speech?
Like, in theory, you can say whatever you want.
Yeah,
Then
you don't want to get shot either.
But it's, I mean, I don't know if it's a place to say that, but
this is Free Speech Channel.
I spent some time in North Africa. That's
Which country?
Algeria.
Oh, okay.
I did 2 tourneys in Algeria.
Oh, okay.
Can you believe it? 2 theaters.
2 theaters. Okay, and
And
that you gotta be careful there.
When I was in my 20s.
Oh.
And
What they told you there?
No,
Careful?
actually, I had the most incredible conversation.
Oh, okay.
People had such...
They're open-minded.
Yeah.
And
I mean, they were not obligatory open-minded, but they were talking.
Oh, they were receptive.
They were people were talking, and it was just before and after the 88.
Okay, the problem there. Okay.
And then I went. My life was kind of. I mean, I went back and forth to Algeria.
Okay.
Love story, and so far and so far. And at some point, because it was becoming too dangerous, I started to see the person I was in love with at the time in Tunisia.
Okay.
Because
Tunisia is totally different.
and in Tunisia, I never felt so unfree in my entire life.
Why they told you not to say certain things?
It's not even that at the time. Now it's different, but at
Yeah.
the time, you could see the portrait
Oh.
of what's his name?
The president?
Yeah, the president.
Ben Ali?
Ben Ali, yeah, everywhere.
Oh, he was pretty much
Everywhere.
strict.
Everywhere. You look down, there's a report. You look up, there's a. You look.
Oh, he was a dictator.
He was a dictator.
Okay.
And then because I was with an Algerian guy,
Yeah.
I had the experience of a not French person, because people were, oh, Tunisia is so fun. Like, no, I've seen the other side,
Oh,
where
okay.
kids are not allowed to play on the beach.
Really?
Where when a couple meter later you see the tourists
Okay.
doing their things, but the
native, no way.
And then I heard things in the police station, and I saw what the police were doing, and I heard what was going on.
They let the tourists do what they want, but not the natives. I know that.
And I was not with, and then I started conversation with people. They didn't talk anything that I was talking with people in Algeria. Algeria, they were talking.
Yeah.
In
There are
Tunisia,
different policies for tourists or native. Tunisia, freedom of speech, they put you in jail.
Exactly.
Sometimes.
Oh no! I mean, I could hear things like when I was walking. It was this feeling of oppression that I never felt in my life.
Be careful what you say. I know.
And what you do.
But I don't know who's the president now. I think
It's different.
Things have changed since
when
then.
there's the spring.
Yeah. It's
And now in Algeria, it's quite a.
the other way.
It's complete. But it's always been very explosive in Algeria. But there's this. There was a freedom of speech.
Okay.
Even though whether people dying or killing. I was there when there was the curfew. You know, you had
The
to-
curfew. Yeah.
People were still talking.
Oh.
There was this.
They're not afraid.
They were afraid, but they were still talking.
Mm.
But I don't know how it is. I haven't been in Algeria for so long.
Yeah. In America, people talk. Depends.
I know. I mean, so that's why the fact that I have experienced that freedom was. I mean,
Did you go to a free speech university in France?
what do you mean?
Like Vincennes, where everybody
I was
is?
in Nanterre.
Okay.
So I did.
People do speak.
Yeah, and I did was part of a big
school that we.
I mean, big protests, like
yeah.
million and
Yeah.
La Loi de Vaquet.
Okay, so you were there.
I was there, but my brothers who are 10 years older than me, they were in '68 and all this stuff. They did the whole thing.
Yeah, when I found myself in Paris in all those crowds, I said, what are you doing? I didn't quite assimilate what they were doing. I was too young. And I said, why do they do that? Do they think they have a voice? I guess they do. I mean,
but the La Loi de Vaquet, I remember like walking, you know, that's why I remember all those people, and there were like million. I mean, we're like a million of people, and we're crossing all Paris, you know.
Really?
Yeah, it was a giant protest, and it took like a whole week, and then at the end, it was this big giant thing, and then it got eradicated. It didn't. I mean, the La Loi de Vaquet was eliminated because of the protest.
Nice.
And so when I came here, and I heard.
For those who don't know what La Loi de Vaquet is, can you tell us in 2 words?
Well, in 2 words, it was a. I don't even remember clearly, but it was the.
It's okay if you don't know.
It was a new law about university, and I think it was tuitions, and also regulation. How you grade, and how you enter university.
Okay.
And it was very.
They changed it.
Yeah, it didn't go through because
people
were so
obsessed. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was a student at the time, and I remember I was part of a committee. Actually, it's funny because I've always been taking notes everywhere I go, and that's why I saw. I mean, I knew it because my father always told me, you know, don't trust the media. They just edit everything. You see one thing, but then
you don't see everything.
Because my father has been interviewed many times, and he always told me this is.
He was in politics too?
No, he was one of the founder of the Syndicat de la Magistrature.
Okay.
So
he knew what was going behind the scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he always told me that, and then so. One time there was the TV who came Nanterre, and they came into the meeting I was in, and there were people arguing and everything, and I was this gentle student taking notes, you know, because you know, and they took they filmed me taking notes. And barely took account of all the argument and everything, so it gave a completely different
view of what people saw.
What was going on, because there were a lot of.
Did you keep the footage? No.
At the time, you know, it was like, oh, it's me, you know. It's like, why did they take? Oh well, because I look calm and composed.
Like a journalist. Okay.
But I was part of the committee, was in connection with the journalists.
Wow, this is all, you lived all kinds of stuff then. So I'm happy you're in America.
Yeah, 51, you're in America.
Yeah, so now that you're in America, are you going to start a movement, or are you pretty quiet now?
I never was starting any movement or whatsoever. I mean, I've always been pretty
You're
quiet.
part of somebody else, okay.
I never. That actually, I don't know how to say that, has nothing to do with Madame Guffet, but because of my family, where I come from, I wanted to do something.
Yeah.
It's not political, but I wanted to honor the legacy of my grandfather.
Okay.
So my grandfather was Simone Bloch. I don't know if you heard about him.
So you wanted to do a play about him?
No. Actually, it's been already, somebody wrote already a play
about him.
It's nothing to do with theater, even though I talk about what did my grandfather, so he was a famous historian and a hero of the resistance.
Okay.
And he's the co-founder of the L'École des Annales. And so I wanted to be able to kind of impulse the creation of an international conference in the Bay Area about Marc Bloch. And his legacy.
Really?
And
is it possible? Is there enough interest?
Yeah.
Oh, there is?
Oh, yeah. But I didn't know how to do that, how to start it. And at the time, my father was still alive, and my father passed away. And life just took changed its toll. But I still have in me that as the granddaughter of the man who did incredible things for humanity.
So you want to do something?
Yeah. Plus, right now is the anniversary of the liberation of Paris.
Oh, so
and my father was part of it.
Okay.
And actually, he didn't like to go to.
Okay, why don't you do a play about it?
I talk about it with Julio, and he thought of that, but then I didn't.
I think it will be interesting. I think it will be very interesting. I like that better than anything else that you talked about.
Well, that's very.
Yeah.
I mean, already the story of my father is extremely heavy, and the story of my grandfather is even more.
Okay.
From a Jewish family, Bloch,
yes, yeah.
Jewish Ashkenazi.
Yeah.
And so my father was part of Deuxième DV, so that's why Deuxième Division Planée.
Okay.
So with the how do you say that? The tanks, les chars. And so he was part of the Libération Paris. But before that, when he joined the resistance, he had to flee. And his father was already in the resistance in Lyon. And when he fled, he fled with other people through Spain.
Okay.
With, of course, not his real name.
Okay. He changed his name.
Yeah, Blanchard, because I mean, you cannot be Bloch in the World War II. You get arrested and sent.
So he got it back later.
No,
his name.
He had a fake paper. I mean,
okay.
You know,
okay.
it's like.
Blanchard, and then you still get the name Bloch.
No, the thing is that I don't even remember he was Blanchard. I think he was Blanchard.
Okay.
His father told him, say that you come from New Zealand. And so it was a different name. It was because nobody will know what the New Zealand accent is.
Oh, okay.
And so he
that's history. That's really good.
Yeah,
we should do a play on that.
With my uncle and other people, so I think there were 4 or 5. And when they crossed the border, actually, with the guide sold them, sold them to the Frankist corporate. And so they ate by somebody, and then in the morning they got arrested.
Oh.
And then he went to prison for 6 months. And then when he was liberated, not as a war prisoner, just like a civil prisoner because he had fake papers, he joined the free troops in North Africa, and then he was part of Débarquement. So and then went through Paris and then Germany and all that. But I'm saying
that's a good story.
What the thing is that my father became a judge. And my father had one desire in his life, one wish.
What is his wish?
2, actually.
To make a movie?
Eradicate prisons.
Oh.
Because he always thought it was
wrong.
It was not something that works.
Yeah.
He worked in prisons. He was a juge d'application des peines.
A lot of people in France want to eradicate prison and turn them into schools, but who is going to go?
Well, not turn into school, but the
system.
He always told me how the system of prison is just mini cross.
To turn the criminals into even worse criminals.
Well, not only that, he was saying it's the same society and worse in a smaller space.
Yes.
With money,
I agree.
With everything.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is torture. Because his father has been tortured.
It is terrible. So there's a lot of talks about that in French universities, but nobody is actually doing it.
But my father was involved in that his entire life, until the last breath.
Really? That's awesome.
He was reading a newspaper.
When he died.
About les juges d'application des peines.
Really?
And
he had a heart attack?
Yeah.
Oh.
Just like that.
And he was gone.
He was gone.
Oh my God, that's such a touching story.
So and then at the end of his
if you make a movie about that, that movie is gonna win, because let me tell you something. This is the talk of the 21st century, because Obama wants to liberate all those 2.5 million prisoners. I mean, he said they're punished wrongly, too long.
Well, I think freedom of speech. I think the judiciary system here is a huge mess.
Like in California, I read this year
with the how do you call that, the bail.
Mm-hmm. No, and also this century they built one university in California.
I know, I saw that.
Yeah, and 100 prisons. Isn't that ridiculous?
It is.
It's a business. It's a business.
It is a business.
Because all these people are pushing for contracts to build prisons.
It's just, yeah. So that's things.
We should take the profit out of prisons. Anyway, that's another topic. But it's a big topic right now in the United States. If you do a movie on that, you're going to make it big bucks.
I don't know, but I mean, my father had the flaws he had, but he fought all his life against prisons.
Awesome.
In prisons, and also I don't think there's many judges who had experienced prisons themselves.
Oh my God.
Because he was in prison during.
Yeah, I would do wholeheartedly a movie about that. Because when I was in university, that's all we talked about, how to get rid of prisons. I mean, you know, the students, they free speech. And they talked about how, you know, prisons make people worse, you know.
And then when I was little, I thought, oh, my father's just an idealist and that. But then getting older, I'm like, no, he was more than that. And he fought. I mean, he was not just talking, you know.
He did try to.
Yeah, and he worked a lot also with the prisoners in Ireland.
Really?
With the political.
Trying to free them too?
Well, to not free them, because that was not the point, but I mean, it's not possible, but their life conditions were absolutely horrific.
Oh, horrible.
He worked a lot in Italy and in the.
That's nice of him.
Oh, he was very, very good.
Did anybody take over the flambeau from his hand and
well, my
carry
brother
on?
a little bit, but the thing, and so at the end of his life, when he was retired, on one hand he was still completely immersed,
activist. Yeah.
but then on the other hand, he was taking care of the work, the legacy of his own father, Simone Bloch.
Oh, okay.
Because he felt that was his duty.
Oh, okay.
And that's,
so there's a lot of legacy there. Your father and your grandfather.
Oh,
it will be a huge.
And then I'm here like in the United States. And
so you're the only one who can carry the flambeau right now?
No. I have
your
a brother.
The brothers.
I have one brother who now retired from teaching.
Working.
Well, he was
he wants to do a play, a movie. Something?
No, he's not like that. He studied history too, but then he became a teacher, and he retired from. He was a director from the school. Preschool.
So basically, one of you is going to do something.
I don't know. I mean, he did a lot of
activism.
Oh yeah, when he was young, but also older. But he worked. I mean, he went to conference and things about his grandfather. As I say, he studied history, and he was.
But the story about your father is more interesting to me because that's really because that's where I was.
Well, it's
more of my generation, yeah.
It's not. I never met my grandfather. He was.
But you did meet your father.
But my father, I grew up with him.
All right, so it sounds like you're on a good. You touched on a good idea.
I don't know how to deal with that, but.
No, there is a way to deal with it. So we'll continue the conversation about it because we need to do something. It's good that
we went away from Madame Cuffet.
No. But we can continue the conversation, and then it was just about what matters, and it was about free speech, and you did say what you had to say.
Yeah, I come from a family where free speech is important. By the way, my father's name is Etienne Bloch.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's an honor for me then to talk to his daughter, even though he's not here. So you have some very important people in your family, right? So that's why you're so extrovert.
Well, no, that comes from my mom's side, which
Oh.
is a different story.
Oh, your mother was very extrovert?
Yeah.
Okay.
My mom was a mix of half Filipina,
Yeah,
quarter Chinese,
yeah.
quarter German.
Oh my God, how did that happen? It's another story.
Another story!
Okay, so we'll need to interview you one more time because I know you have to run to your play.
Yes.
So I'll let you go to, what's his name, King Lear?
King Lear.
King Lear. And we'll do maybe in 6 months a sequel. So thank you so much. It has been very interesting to interview you actually. You have a lot of interesting things to say. Thank you so much, Simone.
I wish I had more to do. But
yeah. So this is Simone Bloch. Unfortunately, she has to go. And thank you for making it to San Francisco.
Thank you
It has
very much.
been a pleasure.
Merci beaucoup.